Hello and welcome to our topic, The Great Pyramids of Giza, for History of Art, Class FD 1005, by me, Ameerul.
And I'm Azim.
And I'm Elias.
For the first topic, on our topic, would be on the history of the Great Pyramids. No pyramids are more celebrated than the Great Pyramids of Giza. Located on the plateau on the west bank of the Nile River, on the outskirts of modern day Cairo, the oldest and largest of the three pyramids of Giza, known as the Great Pyramid, is the only surviving structure out of the famed seven wonders of the ancient world. It was built for Pharaoh Khufu, or Cheops in Greek, Sneferu's successor and the second of the eight kings of the fourth dynasty. Though Khufu reigned for 23 years, relatively little is known of his reign beyond the grandeur of his pyramids. The sides of the pyramid's base average 755 feet, and its original height is 481 feet, making it the largest pyramid in the world. Three small pyramids, built for Khufu's queens, are lined up next to the Great Pyramid, and a tomb was found nearby containing the empty sarcophagus of his mother, Queen Hatteferes. Like other pyramids, Khufu's is surrounded by rows of mastabas, where relatives or officials of the king were buried to accompany and support him in the afterlife. The middle pyramid at Giza was built for Khufu's son, Pharaoh Khafra, in 2558 BC. The Pyramid of Khafra is the second tallest pyramid in Giza and contains the pharaoh's Khafra's tomb. A unique feature built inside Khafra's pyramid complex was the Great Sphinx, a guardian statue carved in limestone with the head of a man and the body of a lion. It was the largest statue in the ancient world, measuring up to 240 feet long and 66 feet high. In the 18th dynasty, circa 1500 BC, the Great Sphinx would come to be worshipped itself as the image of a local form of the god Horus. The southernmost pyramid of Giza was built for Khafre's son, Menkaure. It is the shortest of the three pyramids at 218 feet and is a precursor of the smaller pyramids that would be constructed during the 5th and 6th dynasties. The end of the Pyramid era. Pyramids continued to be built throughout the 5th and 6th dynasties, but the general quality and scale of their construction declined over the period, along with the power and the wealth of the kings themselves. In the later Old Kingdom pyramids, beginning with the king of Unas in 2375 BC, pyramid builders began to inscribe written accounts and events of the king's reign on the walls of the burial chambers and the rest of the pyramid's interior. Known as period texts, these are the earliest significant religious composition known from ancient Egypt. The last of the great pyramid builders was Pepi II in 2278 BC. The second king of the sixth dynasty, who came in power as a young boy and ruled for 94 years. By the time of his rule, Old Kingdom prosperity was dwindling, and the pharaoh had lost much of his semi divine status as the power of non royal administrative officials grew. Pepi II's pyramid, built in Saqqara and completed some 30 years into his reign, was much shorter at 172 feet than the other pyramids of the Old Kingdom. With Pepi's death, the kingdom and its strong central government virtually collapsed, and Egypt entered a turbulent phase known as the First Intermediate Period. Later kings of the 12th dynasty would return to pyramid building during the so-called Middle Kingdom phase, but it was never on the same scale as the Great Pyramids. The pyramids of today is a sad story for many. Tomb raiders and of other vandals in both ancient and modern times removed most of the bodies and the funeral goods from Egypt's pyramids and plundered their exteriors as well. Stripped of most of their smooth white limestone coverings, the Great Pyramid no longer reached their original heights. Khufu's pyramid, for example, measures only 451 feet high. Nonetheless, millions of people continue to visit the pyramids each year, drawn by their towering grandeur and enduring allure of Egypt's rich and glorious past. And I'll now pass on to my friend Azim, who will talk in more detail over the history of all three of these magnificent wonders of the world.
Thank you, Ameerul. Okay, so what makes the pyramids so special? So, for their rulers or pharaohs, the Egyptians built the pyramids as tombs. Egyptian beliefs that stated that his spirit remained vital in the afterlife when the pharaoh died. The pyramids held food, furniture, and other things that the pharaoh would require in the afterlife in addition to the pharaoh's body. Next slide, please. Okay. So, the pyramids of Egypt, also known pyramids of Egypt, which is Pyramid of Giza, and include which contains Pyramid of Menkaure, Pyramid of Khufu, and the Pyramid of Khafre. The oldest and the largest of the three pyramids at Giza, known as the Great Pyramid, is the only surviving structure out of the famed seven wonders of the ancient world. It was built for Pharaoh Khufu, Sneferu's successor and the second of the eight kings of the fourth dynasty. Next slide, please. Okay, so Pyramid of Menkaure. Menkaure's pyramid had an original height of 215 feet and was the smallest of the three major pyramids at the Giza necropolis. It now stands at 200 feet tall with a base of 356 feet. Its angle of incline is approximately 51 degree. It was constructed of limestone and Aswan granite. Menkaure regime has not been accurately defined, but it was probably completed in the 26th century. It lies a few hundred meters southwest of its larger neighbors, which is the Pyramid of Khafre and the Great Pyramid of Khufu in the Giza necropolis. Next slide, please. The Pyramid of Khufu. The Egyptologists believe that the pyramid was built as a tomb for the fourth dynasty Egyptian pharaoh Khufu over a 20-year period concluding around 2560 BC. The Great Pyramid of Giza, also known as the Pyramid of Khufu, is the oldest and the largest three pyramids in the Giza pyramid complex, bordering present-day Giza in Greater Cairo, Egypt. It is the oldest of the seven wonders of the ancient world and the only to remain largely intact. Initially standing at 481 feet, the Great Pyramid was the tallest man-made structure in the world for more than 3,800 years. It is estimated to weigh approximately 6 million tons and consist of 2.3 million blocks of limestone and granite, some weighing as much as 80 tons. And Khufu was the first pharaoh to build Pyramid of Giza. The sheer scale of this monument stands as testament to his skills in commanding the material and human resource of his country. It is now believed that the pyramids were built using conscripted labor rather than slaves. Heminu is a man who lived in ancient Egypt who is believed to have been the architect of the Great Pyramid of Giza as his vizier, succeeding his father, Nafirmat, and his uncle, Kanafer. Heminu was one of the most important members of the court and responsible for all the royal works. His tomb lies close to Khufu's pyramid. Next slide, please. Okay, Pyramid of Khafre. The Pyramid of Khafre, or so-called Chefren, is the second tallest, second largest of the third of the three ancient Egypt Pyramid of Giza, and the tomb of fourth dynasty Pharaoh Khafre, who ruled 2558 until 2532 BC. The pyramid has a base length of 706 feet and rises up to the height of 448 feet. It is made of limestone blocks weighing more than 2 tons each, and slope of the pyramid rises at a 53-degree angle. And also, the pyramid was likely opened and robbed during the first intermediate period. During the 19th dynasty, the overseer of the construction took casing stones to build a temple in Heliopolis and Ramses II's order. Arab historian Ibn Abdul Salam recorded that the pyramid was opened in 1372 AD. On the wall of the burial chamber, there's an Arabic graffito that probably dates from the same time. And historians think that the satellite pyramid was used as a cult pyramid rather than for burials. Khafre's enormous mortuary temple has limestone pavement which separates it from the pyramid itself on the east side, although the pavement can be seen on every side of the pyramid. And the second Great Pyramid of Giza, that was built by Khufu's second son, Khafre, has a section of outer casing that still survives at the very top, and which would have entirely covered all of the Great Pyramids of Giza. Although this monument appears larger than that of his father, it is actually slightly smaller but was constructed 33 feet higher on the plateau. Thank you for your time. Now I'll be passing to Elias for more details about the pyramid.
Thank you, Azim. And here I'm going to cover about the interior of the pyramid and how it was built. First, inside the Great Pyramid, there are two corridors, tunnel, one chamber 3 meters underground, a room in the middle called the Queen's Chamber, and the upper room called the King's Chamber, a large inclined gallery, and 4 shafts which cross the pyramid. Limestone. Next slide, please. Limestone plus kaolin plus caustic soda mixed with water together thanks to the chemical reaction which after 30 days give a real white stone, hard as the covering stone at the pyramid. It is the first concrete of humanity. The components are mixed with water and poured into the wooden mold. This is how all the Egyptians made all the stone. Joseph Davidovich made this discovery in 1989. He called this process geopolymer. So basically, the large cavity was filled with limestone concrete to make the underground chamber from the ground level to the underground chamber. Sorry, from the ground level to the underground chamber. The height is 56 cubits. From the floor to the middle chamber, the height is also 56 cubits. The middle chamber is in the middle and coated with white limestone. The king's chamber is in red Aswan granite and on 5 levels. The 4 shafts precise to the centimeter target the sacred star Sirius and Al-Nilam. The position of the sun ray at noon on July 14, the day at Sirius rising, determined the location of the king's chamber. Ray and king were to be reunited in the chamber. Switch to the next slide. The Egyptian invented the screw pump. The Egyptian dug 3 passage about 10 meters wide. It is easy to dig on soft limestone. They installed wooden viaducts in this passage to route the water and send it to the other side. The cavity filled with limestone concrete. The edge of the cavity are transformed into a shallow basin where the limestone clay, natron, and lime are mixed. Once the mixture is obtained, they open the valve and let the concrete flow to the bottom of the cavity. They filled these natural holes to then make the underground tunnel. Limestone concrete once dried take on a natural rock appearance. That's why that geologists haven't noticed no trace of fire was found in the underground chamber. This explains why the concrete was made outdoor. The worker have already measured and set up the mold at the bottom of the bowl, which will create the south underground tunnel. They will use the same principle for the underground chamber. The mold keep put in place and the concrete was poured around and over it. The Egyptians never dug underground chamber or corridor below the pyramids since it is impossible. They simply fill it in. This explains the high precision of the South Underground Tunnel, the service tunnel, and also the shaft. The Egyptians also discovered solar energy. Everything is melted, nothing can resist. Granite literally melt at once like lava. The Egyptians poured the lava into clay mold. The worker melt the granite using the lens. This is this is the method how granite this is the method how Egyptian melted all types of stone. Using the solar lens, they pour the floor of the king's chamber and the harrows in Aswan red granite. To carry out the cultivary of the Grand Gallery, they built an extraordinary wooden movable carriage mold. The mold is measured 8 meters high with 7 levels. The 7 levels were used to complete the form work mold on one side and the exterior side was complete with standard formwork mold. While, while the limestone is drying, workers install copper notches. This is yet again that it is limestone concrete and not cut stone. The, sar- the sarcophagus is built first, then the tunnel opening with north and south wall, then finally those of the west and south. The worker The workers laid the clay mold and poured the granite lava. They used beam for the wall of the shaft. A few days later, once the wall had cooled, they removed the clay. The construction of the room lasts 3 to 4 months. Cutting granite to make such perfect wall in that time is just inconceivable. However, it is entirely possible with molten granite. The ceiling beam are cast in turn. The 5 granite floor are complete. The limestone vault is built. The pyramid continued to rise. They always pour the siding and then fill the inside. The passage closed one by one as the pyramid rise. This all thanks to the greatest architect in the history of humanity, Ameerul, the one who designed the Khufu pyramid with less than 1% error. That's all.
All right, that's the end of our topic. Thank you for watching. Bye.
Bye.